Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to Finish It Friday. What shall we do? That's the question. So rather than just try to pick a journal and sit here and wonder what to do, I'm going to roll the dice. So I have a picture of all the journals that I'll show you. I'm not going to get them all down because I'll just get down the one that I'm going to use. So which journal to start with out of Lotta? 4 seasons, which we did last time. So I kind of like to do a different one each time just to sort of keep it fresh. We've got Peter Rabbit, we've got a new journal, which is going to be the grungy autumn type journal, the colour book, and either an art journal or napkin journal page. So let's roll the dice and see what it's going to be today. Number 1, Lotta. Ooh, everybody's favourite. Let's work on lovely Lotta. Okay, and again, that's mostly a collage. Although we could do those things. So we'll do that. We didn't do it for the 4 seasons, but we'll do what item for Lotta's journal. 3 tucks. So my head's already going. It's like as I'm writing, I'm thinking, oh, what can I do? What can I do? What can I think of? Focal point for Lotta. So I wrote the ad again. I'm hoping you can read the in options easier. I found it difficult to read when I was editing my video, so I thought, well, maybe you guys can't see it either. So tucks, and we're going to look for a focal point for mushroom. Well, that's something different. I don't think we've got any mushrooms in Lotta's journal so far. All right, and use. What are we going to use on here on this page with a mushroom? What are we doing? Tucks with a mushroom. Okay, we're going to use some napkin. Oh, that's nice. Makes it a bit easier for me. Napkin is great to use when you're stuck because you just get a lovely image and it looks beautiful. So always good when you use napkins. The color we're working with. Oh, that's interesting because I wanted it to be all blues and pinks. I guess I could go with any of those colors. Yeah, any of those colors will work. 2. Oh, black and white. We did that last time. Let's not do 2 in a row. If it's two the same, too similar, we're not going to do it. 5. Brown vintage. Oh, I guess that works. With the mushroom and napkin. Okay. Brown, or we'll just, oh, I should have just put vintage because it's really going to be vintage. Don't really like the color brown, but vintage is all right. And what else? Well, that's if new. So that's it. That's what we're doing. We're doing Lotta tucks with a mushroom, napkin, and vintage brown. I'll be back with the journal and some goodies. So this is my lovely Lotta journal that I started last year, and there's lots of videos about the making of the journal and some of the pages that have been decorated. Well, all the ones that have been decorated so far, there should be a video for. Obviously I still need to do the inside cover of this. I haven't done anything with that, but this is what I've done so far on other days, collage days or different yeah, I don't know, can't remember what they were when I did them. So just different ideas and techniques. The journal's full of very old paper on 1916. There is some, I think this one here is the 1850 paper or thereabouts. So yeah, lots of old and new things in it. Napkins, playing cards, tucks, and sort of vintage stuff. So getting vintage for my Lotta was fortuitous. I know I got black and white first, and black and white really doesn't suit this journal, so probably wouldn't have done that anyway. So this is as far as I've got. Oh no, there's a few more pages here. This is a lovely one. This one. And that one. Oh yes, okay. And I don't think I've done any at the back. I've done one. I think that was a Margaret Miller, was it? Or I don't know. Challenge? Not too sure. So fair way to go. I'm never going to make a journal this big again because it takes too long. I'm too slow. So the page I picked for today, because we're doing tucks, was this one. Thought, well, we've already started with the tuck and it's vintage. This is from a really old really old news encyclopedia, which I got from I believe Cottage Craft on Etsy. I think she still does her vintage items and things. You can get lace and all sorts, so check that out. So that's what we've got so far. Got a tuck already started, but I was thinking envelopes, so I picked out a bunch of envelopes. That one's going to be too big. Let's get rid of the ones that are no good. I really liked this one because it's got pink. It's a definite possibility. I might have that over that side. That looks lovely on that side of the page. Well, that was easy. But I want something on this side. So I guess I want something that's going to go with that. And I'll put decoration on it, but see, I like this one. It's very dramatic. Of course, we're going to decorate it, but I just thought that's actually and it's very brown. So we've got the colour in there as well as vintage. So Lotta, tucks. We'll come back to the mushroom, and we need vintage and brown. So we've got vintage and brown, and we've got tucks. Yay. Okay, so we'll get rid of those. Okay, so I'm thinking that could go over there like that. And then we might decorate this side as well. Okay, so that's the general concept. I can't put the envelope over here because of that. So that's going to have to go that way and go like that. It's kind of going to become more envelopes than tucks, but that's okay. All right, next we need mushrooms and napkin. So all I did was picked out a bunch of sort of vintage colours and things. So this one looks like it goes quite nicely with that brown. Got this one. Oh, well, not sure about that one. This one, oh, that looks nice with this one. I like that on that side. I did think about this one. It's a possibility. I'll put that in the no pile. Don't know pile. I've got a no, I don't know, and a probably. I think this one's going to be too colourful. We'll have a no pile. And just too yellow. It's a bit pink, this page. And that was just a decorative element, but no, I don't want it. And that's just postcards, so we're not doing that. No, that was easy. We've got a choice of 3, and I'm leaning towards these 2. So let's just narrow the field. We want mushrooms. Okay, we've got a choice of a few. Now I found this one in the antiquarian sticker book because it was kind of vintage and brown and a mushroom. So that's a possibility. I've got these little mushrooms, which I can add to the page. They're just like decorative elements, but we've got mushrooms. I like this mushroom. No, it's not that one. Well, either one, but I actually like this one better. Very brown. And so I'm going to turn that into a journal card, and that'll go inside one of the tucks. And then I've got this, if you're going to do vintage and mushrooms where you can't go past, I was going to say Margaret Miller, Edith Holden, except it's red. And everything else is pink. Oh. Wow, so we either go red, and even that's a different kind of red. Oh dear, Edith Holden might have to miss out. If we have that going on that page, of this happening, this mushroom, let me just cut these hands off because they're distracting me. It's a sticker, so it will peel off. Yeah. I think that matches that napkin better. And that matches, doesn't it? This one doesn't really go with it at all, unfortunately. I really wanted to use that one. I came across that. No, got enough of that too. Okay, good. And then after that, I then also thought, when I was going through all my stuff, saying vintage doesn't have to be brown. I looked for things that are actually vintage or copies of vintage. So I really like this one. She's walking in the forest. Oh, she's quite nice, and that makes a nice tuck. I know it's a Christmas one, but we'll cover up the Happy New Year thing. And I have these. These were copies of Christmas cards, of vintage Christmas cards. So we'll just cover up the Merry Christmas, but not sure. Yeah, well, I suppose that one sort of goes. Well, anyway, it's a possibility on this one. I like the idea of this is where the mushrooms were, so I do like that, like telling a story. So, you know, the girl goes walking in the forest, she comes across the mushroom fairies, and this is where she was walking. So those two go nice together, don't they, for a little story? This looks more like a place you'd find mushrooms. And I found this too, which is it's a printout of Lotta's signature from 1883. So if you haven't seen the Lotta videos before, you may not know that Lotta was a famous actress in the 1800s, and my journal is kind of like based on her, due to the fact that this paper was accountancy papers from an accountant's book, and these are from the 1880s, where they were ordering postcards of various people and places, I suppose. And so these were the orders, and then it's how what they ordered. See, they ordered 12 Lotta cards. So I looked up, well, why is there so many Lotta cards? What's a Lotta card? So I looked it all up, and Lotta was a famous actress in the 1800s, and they used to order the postcards and take them to the shops, or they'd go to all these different shops, and so it was like buying postcards, or you know, your favourite football cards and or footballers' cards and things like that. So that started in the 1800s, which, yeah, I thought was an interesting thing. Anyway, I ended up making a journal all about Lotta, sort of, but just in that theme, you know, the vintage type theme of that era. Okay, that was Lotta. This was out of the sticker book. I just liked the girl. She may make a feature in the forest walk, possibly. And then after that, I was just pulling out bits and pieces of actual vintage. I have some, maybe we can get some of Edith Holden in. Now, she did a diary, and this is what was happening in April. So I'm thinking, yeah, this might be the diary of the girl walking in the forest. So that would be nice. So I've got to get some Edith Holden in there somehow. If you're doing vintage, you know, you've got to have Edith Holden. And then there's just some really vintage looking music paper. And I did find the rabbits, still a possibility, but probably not. And another forest. And then we'll keep those two out just in case. And they're in the no pile. All right, so we've got our items to choose from. Should have enough here to work with. Let's start making some stuff. So on this side, which is going to be an open flap, so we might have this napkin. Oh well, but I'd like to have had that one there, and then it folds over, and you can still see the flower. So I think that's nice. So we'll take it off. We'll take it off here. Don't really want to do it on the book itself, so let's just do it around here. Now I'd like to keep it sort of at an unusual shape, not like straight across. So I might run it up the page like that. So you just put a little bit of water on it and pull it apart. Now I do think that it's got another layer. Get the sellotape out, Julie. Get the sellotape out. Do you ever sort of get stubborn with yourself? No, I refuse. I can do it. I don't need the sellotape. Anyway, this one's a fairly old napkin, I think, that I've tried to use before. Okay, I might keep that. We never know. I might use that yet. So I want this piece going up here, but because of the fact that we've got this straight line up here, we're going to have to edit that and change that a little bit. So we're going to just come down here. This gives it a more sort of rougher vintage look. And when I'm doing it in a journal like this, I just use a good glue stick. 1300 is going to go up from here up to there and down there, I think. So we can always add if we need to. It feels good to be working on Lotta again. I know that many of you will say that you've missed her, although we haven't actually seen Lotta in the journal yet. This is the Friends of Lotta side. It's a double-sided journal, and I started working on the friend's side, and the other side is meant to be the Lotta side. I haven't got there yet. She's still waiting in the wings. So it'll look a bit like a torn page, I'm hoping. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. And you can just smooth it down. This way you don't get wrinkles. If you want a nice smooth look to your napkin, and you should be able to just press those. It's a bit lumpy underneath here. Smooth it out a bit. That's better. Yeah, so no wrinkles if you do it this way. Taken a ripped edge off it here as well, just to match that side. So let's do that. Just going to wiggle it down there and rip that off. Yeah, that's better. I don't want to. Sometimes I cut the edges off, but I didn't feel like it this time. All right, so then the next thing, so we've got brown done and we've got napkin done. So now you can use your matte medium. It might be a good idea to go over the edge of that and then let it dry, and it will seal those edges and get rid of some of that extra glue that we put down. So let's do that. And you know, you can go over the whole thing with matte medium, she says, and then puts it all over the page. I'm just thinking that the colours will be a bit odd if they don't. It's not the same everywhere. And I suppose it'll protect this very old page somewhat. So it'll be interesting to see how the pastels work on that. But I'm thinking I might want to do some work on that. So I'm changing my mind again. I'm going to put matte medium over the whole thing because I want to add some highlights to the brown napkin. It's a bit too brown, not pretty enough for this journal. Let's do pretty. You know I like pretty. So I'm just going to add that to this napkin, which will seal the whole thing in place, but not so much. By doing the glue stick first, it gets the napkin down nice and flat. And now the only wrinkles are because it's now wetting it and stretching it. So it's a little bit wrinkly. Okay, I'm just going to leave that to dry naturally and go get some dinner. Let the dog in. I think he had his dinner, but he's outside, so he won't be happy. Not happy, Jan, as we say over here. Okay, I'm back at dinner, and so I I noticed as I was walking away that I've got a bright red rose or red flower and pink on this side. So what I'm going to try and do is just try, these pastels are a bit weird, change the colour perhaps of the flower just by adding in some pink. Oh, it's very bright pink. The pastel's doing a great deal. Okay, it's now nice deep pink. I might just add some of that same pink on the other side. Where should we add that? Just to add some highlights. Okay, let's try the stitching that I did around the side. Just to sort of, yeah, blend it in so that it doesn't quite look so very different. And maybe just deepen up the rose a little bit. Could probably have done it with watercolor pencils. Might have been a bit easier. Okay, well, yeah, I think you can see that already, you know, kind of changes the tone of the pink. So what do you think? I think the colours a bit more blended in. At least they both look pink now instead of red, just different shades. That's okay. So then now we just need to blend it into the page a little bit. So I don't know if this is too orange. Okay, let's just try this colour. Well, I don't mind that colour. It's matches what you can see around this page here. I might make this flower a bit more that colour. Brighten it up a bit in this one. And I just actually wouldn't mind, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 browns in here, but I'm just going to go over the centres of some of these. It's very, I don't know if I like these pastels. They're not my usual ones. I bought a new pack, this Semco cheap pack, but I like my original ones better. They're so old, I thought, oh, maybe I should get some new ones. It looks a bit red. No, not that one. Just want something pinkish, but change the shade a little bit in there. Okay, I'm going to go with the kind of ochre colour. Might just be yellow. It doesn't even want to come off onto the paper. It's really not nice, pleasant feeling chalk at all. Pastels. I'm going to have to get my my other ones. What's left of my original old ones from years ago. And unfortunately, because they roll around, I can't tell what colour they are anymore. Let's have a look. Let's see, look at the difference. That one maybe. I'll have that one and yeah, that one. Oh wow, huge difference. A tissue to just wipe that back a bit because it's got you know, the gel medium. It allows you to make a few adjustments. Looks a bit muddy, I have to say. Let's try some pink. Just lighten it up in places, hey? I want to bring back that nice pale colour here. dried that off, or sprayed it and then dried it off. And thinking I might like to have butterfly on up here to sort of take away some of that edge. Antiquarian sticker book, because they're very old-fashioned, vintage looking. And so I think we'll have this one. The feels off. I'll try and remember to draw them in. Sometimes I forget. So I want it to be here. So it might just be sort of next to that flower, I'm thinking. Like that. Quite happy with that now, and that folds over there, and you just have the flower peeking out, and we're going to have this here. Okay, so let's see what we can do with the back of this envelope. So this bit's going to be the bit that we see, so we might want to bring in some pinkier colours. I've got this address book, which is really handy because it's full of borders, all different types for each letter. So I'm going to cut out another piece of that, so I've got 2 pieces. I think I'll need more than one. No one ever uses these address books, it seems to me. Nice, make a nice journal. And I will fussy cut the flower border out and be back. That's going to be the top up there. I think that looks quite nice on that paper. So on the front, I liked this. This is super nice. Looks really nice with the brown. And I'm going to give it a gold edge. Oh, that was quite nice. This is going to be the easiest. Let's just use this one. So I'm just going to get this onto the edge. It's going to take a while. Let's use a wider brush. Okay. Now I'm going to try, might be a bit tricky, here and there. I'm going to give it some gold highlights just where it's raised up a bit. Not everywhere. And it's going to be a bit tricky. Okay, that's taken a while. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but there's now kind of a bit of a gold edging in places around the flowers. Sometimes I do the leaves by accident, but I don't think it matters. It's just really, really pretty. Anyway, that's gorgeous. That's going to go on there. That one, I think. Okay, so we're going to put that on there, and we're just going to put that on top. I think it looks better on top than it does underneath. All the way to the edge, but I am going to smooth that out. Sorry guys, I think I ran out of space on my phone, and so when it does that, whatever you filmed at that moment, it deletes. You can't play it, so not sure how much you got, but all I've done, put the ribbon on. I've attached the envelope to this, but what I did do was I found I found some Edith Holden and some mushrooms because I hadn't got any mushrooms in. So this was a piece of paper. Actually, I don't know where I got it from. It's nice. And then I attached some see-through vellum type mushrooms because I didn't have any mushrooms yet. And then I thought, oh, now my Edith Holden will fit on the page. So I've got that and that. And then I was just looking at this, and it's very pink, so I need to just change the colour of this paper. It looks white in the screen, but it's actually got pink dots on it. So I have to think about that one. So in the meantime, then I decided, well, I'm going to go put the envelope onto the page. So it folds, and that's as far as I got when the camera went off. So now I'm going to cut this off. So I definitely want it cut off at this edge here. Oh, no, I was supposed to move it across. Oh well. Cut it off now. That wasn't what I wanted to do. Yeah, I wanted to move it across. Anyway, that's okay. Doesn't matter. We've got this now. Okay, well that just tore off because it's very fragile. So I'm just going to, I think we'll just continue that angle up here. It's probably going to look a little bit odd. Yeah, it does. Should have torn it probably, but anyway, we're going to ink it, and it'll be less noticeable, we hope. Got this new tea dye ink. It's not what I thought. I think I was thinking of antique linen when I thought pale. It matches this page okay because we're doing brown, but it's not the pale one that I thought it was. Antique linen, I think, is the colour that I fancied, which is a very pale sort of just off-white inking. I don't know whether I want to make that into a tuck spot. I think I might leave that. I like that as it is. You just open it out. Just that it doesn't want to stay. Can't do the closure at the moment because I can't figure out what to put on it. So we're going to leave that for the moment. We've got this and a tuck. So let's do the thing to tuck in now. I wanted to do this mushroom. So what I've got is I've got the forest where they're walking, the girl who's in the forest, and the mushrooms that she's picking. Doesn't look like she's picking mushrooms, but we'll pretend that she is. Okay, so all I need to do is put this on some card. Not rounded edges, maybe. Okay, so we've got that. That took longer than expected. We've got that to go in there. And now we're just going to, I'll leave that one as it is. So here we have an original postcard, no date. I might put a stamp and stamp it, get a nice old one. We haven't had the stamp album out for a while. We want something that sort of matches in. Brown tones, I think. Orange, okay, brown. Would like something English, although Cheshire. That's Canada, close. Australia. Can't see any British stamps in there. There we are. That's a nice brown one. Will match nicely. Lovely, that'll do. I'm not even going to bother doing an extra stamp on that. We'll just leave that. So that we've got a nice postcard and some mushrooms, and we want the lady that's collecting them. So Happy New Year, Merry Christmas. I don't want all that on there. So let's find a word. What have we got? Inspire, thankful. Adventure. Let's have adventure. She went on a little adventure picking mushrooms. Is it long enough to cover up the Happy New Year? Draw around it, it will cover it up. There we are. Adventure. And just ink that up there. Okay, so we've got 2 items to tuck in. So these just go in here. And I want the girl with the adventure maybe to be on this page. Oh, that's okay like that. So I think I'm just going to stick that one down. She went on an adventure in April collecting mushrooms in Cheshire. Molesworth Brook. Sounds like a good place to collect mushrooms. And these are the mushrooms she found. And some pretty flowers. And that was meant to be a tuck, so we will just have to decide another day what to tuck in, but we've made a tuck spot. Didn't say we had to make something to tuck into it. That's my theory anyway. I just want that to stay down, but when we open it up I don't necessarily want something in the middle of the picture, so I'm just going to have to, well, if it's staying there I could just glue it down here and then that'll be the tuck. And we could make a tag to tuck in there. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We are going to just glue the corner like that. And it is now a tuck. Okay, we're allowed to change our mind. We now have a little tuck spot. It stays flat. It's not a flap. I like that there. That's nice. Let's pop this on this page. It's almost perfectly the right size. Why not? Let's just cut it off here. Glue that in there. I think that'll be nice. Make a nice kind of display, won't it? I believe that's the right size. How crazy is that? This is our Lotta Journal project that we've done today. Got glue everywhere and everything stuck to me. So we turn the page and we have the forest with the fallow deer and beautiful wildflowers that she found in the forest. And then she collected things in her envelope. She's walking through the forest, trees, and she's collected her mushrooms. She's over in Cheshire, same forest. So it all fits in nicely. Nice little story. Nice little collection. One of Lotta's friends who went on an adventure collecting mushrooms in April. Cool, eh? And that beautiful envelope. And then we've put a napkin down, but we've glued it down because it wouldn't stay flat. So we've created a tuck spot. So that was what we needed to do. We worked on Lotta's journal, we created a tuck spot, we worked with mushrooms and a napkin and brown. So we filled the brief. And we've got something unique and different for our page. Still a little bit red for the pink page, but not to worry. I forgot that when I was doing that. I was trying to match the pink and the red, wasn't I? But then now that it's dried, it's gone back to being red again. So it's okay. Yeah, nice big spread that we finished on our Lotta Journal. They're looking very autumn-like and Edith Holden-like. And so very happy with that. It's very different. And the funny thing is that by having the prompts, I would never have created this collection. It allows you to be more creative, to do different things that you would normally do. Otherwise, I'd always just do a pretty picture with lace and a flower. You know, that's what I'm drawn to doing. But by having prompts, I've created something completely different that I wouldn't have done in this journal. So really happy with the prompt system. It's working really well for me. I feel really happy that I'm getting some pages done in the journals that haven't completed. So you'll hopefully see this on Friday or close to Friday. And we'll look forward to doing another one next week. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.